Welcome to part 2 of our segment on review of semester 1. So in the last segment, we talked a little bit about while loops and if-else statements. So I created this if-else statement as long as the user doesn't enter the word quit. The loop is going to keep going, the while loop. So if the user enters a normal name, then I am going to want to ask, if you recall our goal here, we need to ask now how many scores are going to be entered. So to read in a number using joptionpanes, which we're using for this program, first we have to have a string to read in the information and store the information in a string variable that was entered by the user, and then we parse it. So if you don't remember how to do this, you're on the right video. So I'm first going to use a string variable. I'm just going to create a string variable called input because its job is to get some input from the keyboard. And I'm going to say input equals joptionpane, and this is an input dialog. And then I might want to say enter the number of students. And then simply to read that in, I would just use a maybe integer variable called num students, because it's going to be storing the number of students that the user just entered. And I say num students equals, and I'm going to go to that integer class that's provided by Oracle. Thank you, Oracle. And the parse int method, again, provided by Oracle. And I'm going to use the input that the user entered. So even if they entered a 5, my computer doesn't see it as a numeric 5. It just sees it as a character 5. And so it'll take that character 5. It'll say, hey, this is actually integer. I want to be able to perform math on it. And just to test it and make sure it works, I'm going to do a quick little system out print with num students just to see what's in there. So let's run it and see what happens. Okay, enter the name for the students, and there's a name. Enter the number of students. I'm going to enter 5. Enter the name, quit if you're done, but notice down here a 5 came up. I actually realized I asked the wrong question, but we'll get back to that. So it's doing everything it's supposed to. It's entering that value. I'm just going to say another, what should I name this person? David. Okay, enter the number of students. I entered an A. Uh-oh, what just happened? So an A isn't an integer, so my computer's like freaking out. What? You just entered an A. But the thing that's important about what happened here is right here. That's a number format exception. That wasn't the right format. It wasn't the format it expected to see. If you want to see how to take care of that problem and how to use functions, watch the next video, and I'll explain that.